Welcome to West Country Wanderings. Today, you join me on another Herefordshire and Gloucestershire Canal explore. We're at the tiny little village of Oxenhall in Gloucestershire, so why not join me for have a look at the canal here in this beautiful part of Gloucestershire, just outside the border with Herefordshire. So this isn't the canal behind me here at Oxenhall, but this is a fact I think recently been redone, which will be a lake to provide water in the canal. I'm not sure if this was originally here when the canal was built towards the end of the 18th century, and as I said, it was built in two sections, more of which a bit later. But yeah, this has actually been recut here on the side, but the canal is just over there. Just included some clips of snowdrops. It's been a wonderful month for snowdrops here in February. I've done some bits both in Herefordshire and Gloucestershire, including some bits of snowdrops around about where I was the other day over at Lassington Hill, just the other side of Gloucester, as I say. But we're here at Oxenhall, so we're going to have a look at the bridge, the lock, and the restored section of the Herefordshire and Gloucestershire Canal. So I'm on the town path here at Oxenhall now. There would have been a bridge there, and that's been infilled to support the road above. It's not a busy road, it's a single track road, but I think the weight of the tractors and the fact it would have been originally a humped brick built bridge meant that it probably wasn't strong enough to take the bigger tractors that we have nowadays. So yeah, we'd have this beautiful section here alongside the canal and do some other shots of that as well. It's a weird sensation on my face. I think it's called something called the sun. I haven't actually seen it for, well, a couple of weeks I don't think, since I did the Lorry Lee video walking to Slad. As I say, we're just over the border. We're probably only 2 or 3 miles from the Herefordshire-Gloucestershire border here at Oxenhall, but it's very nice. The sun has come out today. I did the vlog, my vlog number 7, if you haven't checked that out, for the month of February in Ross-on-Wye, just a few miles away from here. Earlier on this morning, in fact we're in the afternoon now, and it was very windy here. The wind's dropped now and the sun's come out. Still a bit chilly, hence the old gloves are still on, but wonderful spot here next to this canal. So behind me is the original lockkeeper's cottage and the Oxenhall spill weir. Well, I'll just do a close-up of that. In fact, this site was given by a gentleman to the Herefordshire and Gloucestershire Canal Trust in 1995, and restoration started here, the lock site and this canal and the towpath, because it was completely overgrown when it was given, and also the towpath has been restored, so they did some tree clearance, all the weeds removed, and the canal was completely cleared at this site here. It looks absolutely spectacular. I didn't realise so much had been restored on this section, but it's really, really impressive. I'll just show you the lock section now. So behind me is Oxenhall Lock and the Oxenhall Canal Lockkeeper's Cottage. Beautiful. It's obviously private now, so you have to be mindful of that. But yeah, this lock section, really, really deep. I don't know the exact dimensions of it. If I can find that, I'll put it in below. But it's looking one of the deepest locks that I've seen. We've come across a deep lock at the top of the Tardybig on the Worcester-Birmingham Canal just a few weeks ago when he did that long flight of locks there. That was, I think that was over 7 feet deep there. I'm not sure the dimensions of this one, but it's very, very impressive indeed. There we go again with that changeable weather, that the sun's gone in and we're back to the winds again, but at least it's dry here. This is an extraordinary place. It's quite difficult to get to. Parking is very limited. I parked in the church car park and walked down. There's no parking at the Oxenhall site, so if you do visit here, be very mindful of that. Don't try and park by the side of the road. There is a pull-in, but it's a passing place and you do get big tractors, so you will block the lane if you do that. So park in the village and walk back to it here. But yeah, there's no one else here. It's extraordinary, and unlike the Thames and Severn and Stroud Water, which obviously I visit regularly and doing updates along if you follow my channel, the towpaths there get quite busy with, which is good to see for people getting out and about and getting some fresh air and seeing some greenery in nature, and people cycling and walking, and some people use it to commute to and from work into Stroud. But here, it's because there's no major centres of population in this area, and in fact Herefordshire, which is, as I say, just over the border, is much less densely populated than either Gloucestershire or Worcestershire. I think it's perhaps the least dense populated county in England. I might check that because it might be Shropshire, but it's certainly very, very close. Because of that, and because there's, as I say, there's no main centres of population, this place is an absolute delight, and say if you come here you'll probably have the place to yourself. So the section behind me is Brook Aqueduct, and work started on restoring this aqueduct in 2004. Obviously it is dry above it because they haven't quite restored this section yet. There is another section which is restored just ahead of me, so I'll have a look at that in a bit. But yeah, really, really impressive that this would have been used as an aqueduct, and hopefully it will be once again. Now the other thing I've just spotted this location is an abutment of a bridge, a stone bridge, which was nothing to do with the canal, but of course the railway. Now we did say, and I do apologise, because in my last video when I was at Lassington Hill, did a very brief introduction to this canal, I said that the railway between Gloucester and Hereford was built across it. Of course that's incorrect, and I did mean to say Gloucester to Ledbury. The reason I was thinking Hereford is because I walked along a section of the original line when I was in Ledbury, and because the railway, the main railway, goes into Hereford, I was getting the two muddled up in my head. There was a separate Gloucester to Hereford railway, which is completely separate to the section that ran along this railway here. But what we do have is this interesting bridge. I don't just mean the stone abutment, and I'm not sure if this was originally some form of swing bridge. I'm not that up with all of the history of the Gloucester to Ledbury line. I will get it right, and I'm not sure this is a remain of that. So I'll just show you that now. If you've got any ideas, please drop it in the comments below. Behind me, the canal hasn't been restored. Obviously this is still work in progress. There needs to cut through there. We're only about half to 3/4 of a mile maybe from the town of Newent, and there's lots of developments that are going to be happening in Newent to do with this canal, which will be featured on a future video here on my channel, West Country Wanderings. So I've just come to the other side of the lane down from the church, Oxenhall. So this isn't the official restored section, though the towpath here has been cleared somewhat, so it gives you an indication of what's happened. So we have this lake which you saw at the beginning of the video, so I'm working my way in a northerly direction, the Hereford direction now. So you have to be careful because there's some bramble here on the path. Yes, I know, the hat's come on. Though the sun came out and went in, came out again, the wind really rips up here, and that wind has a real bite to it. So yeah, I know it doesn't look the best with the hat on, but it's protecting the old ears from freezing to death. Behind me stands the magnificent Cold Harbour Bridge, which was restored by the Herefordshire and Gloucestershire Canal Trust in 1997, and what a magnificent example it is to the talents of the fantastic volunteers that work for this trust, all unpaid in their own time, trying to restore this canal between the magnificent cities of Hereford and Gloucester. I've decided to call it a day here. There is, I believe, a canal tunnel in this area, and I think it is in this direction, and we will come back here again, so don't panic. Because we've had so much rain over the past few days, the towpath beyond this point is pretty much impassable. It is just a mud quagmire full of very, very deep, soft clay. It's very, very unpleasant to walk in. I have tried. It just goes along there, and as you can see, it doesn't improve after the first few metres. In fact, it looks like it gets worse. So I'm going to call it a day for the video here today at Oxenhall in Gloucestershire, looking at the Herefordshire and Gloucestershire Canal and the wonderful efforts by the Canal Trust. What I will do is I'll put a link in below to the website of the H&G Trust, which tells you more about the canal. In terms of, if you want to contact them and you have some spare time and you live in the Herefordshire and Gloucestershire areas and you would like to help giving some hard work, putting some hard work in to restore this canal, then I'm sure they'll be delighted to hear from you. They will actually train you, so you don't need to bring any skills to the table, as long as you've got a few hours to spare each week, or as much as you can offer. I'm sure they'll be absolutely pleased to hear from you. So please contact, and I'll put the links in for that below. So I hope you've enjoyed this little canal video here on the Herefordshire-Gloucester Canal, and I hope to see you on West Country Wanderings again very, very soon. Until next time, look after yourselves, take care, and I hope to see you soon. Cheers. Goodbye.